Hello, hello. Today's our guest is shaking up fitness with a bold mix of AI, financial stakes, and deep human insight. Adalida Baca, co-founder and CEO of GainTain, combines philosophy, writing, and design to build a fitness app that makes consistency impossible to ignore. Let's dive into her story and how she is redefining accountability.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to talk about GainTain.
Okay, let's go. Before we dive into your startup, tell about yourself, your background.
So I'm from New Mexico, and fun fact, Jeff Bezos is from New Mexico. Microsoft started in New Mexico, so I definitely want to be the first woman up there with those kinds of people. Um, I studied at the University of New Mexico, and I specifically studied philosophy and English. And so for English, it was information design in different mediums, and for philosophy, it had a lot to do with like logic. And early AI before I feel like Silicon Valley had AI. But it really helps me just understand and model thought so that way I could make better design decisions for customers and users.
Yeah, you studied philosophy and design. How does that unusual mix shape how you build products today?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like separating AI hype versus like what's real. And I think a lot of what AI does is capture and use data. And so that is always like at the forefront of what I'm designing is how can I capture the most data so we can use this for our AI to train better.
Yeah, and how long did you study design, and how long do you have experience in design?
Yeah. I mean, I've been designing all my life. Like that comes second nature to me. Like in high school I was in yearbook. I mean, anytime I could design, I would. In college I specifically studied like information design. So it was how to design in various mediums, like how, to do copywriting, basic graphic design principles, document design. And then I ended up doing independent study with one of my professors, and she asked me to build a website for her business. And then that's kind of when I started doing web design and started getting into tech. But it's most of my background is essentially how to distill information so anybody can read it or use, the information.
Awesome. GameStain's idea of betting money on workouts is wild. What was the spark, maybe a personal moment or a frustration moment that made you think this is the future of fitness?
Yeah. So I essentially paid for a trainer. Me and my husband, we each paid for a trainer, and we paid $500 for 8 weeks. And the first time we got amazing results. I was like, oh my God, let's pay for him again. And so we paid for him again, no results. It was literally a copy and paste from the first session, from the first time we paid him. And then I was like, maybe let's try it again and it will get something different. And same thing, same copy and paste. So I effectively wasted $2,000 on that trainer for the same information. That was a little kind of frustrating. So then I said, maybe I'll go to a different trainer who, trains for what I like. And he just sent me a PDF of his workouts. So now at that point, I had already had like fragmented information. And, my husband and I were like, let's build something for us for fun. And so we started building GainTain. And then it kind of, got into being a business when we went through Founder University, and we kind of realized we can actualize this. But through that program, I started actually doing a lot more research with users, and I realized that the real problem isn't tracking. The real problem is motivation. There were so many people that I met who, like, for instance, like they had an injury and they're like, I can't go to the gym, or I'm using this app that like gives me like hustle points, but I get less hustle points compared to people that are lifting more. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of lame, because like if you're injured and you're still going to the gym, like I think arguably you're working harder than the people that aren't injured and you are working out in the gym, and you should be rewarded for that. So they were just talking to users like really made me understand what the real problem was, and that was accountability and motivation.
If you're pitching GainTain to a gym buddy, how will you like describe what it does? in 1, 2 sentences?
So I say it's a trainer in your pocket for less than the cost for protein tub, and it uses AI to adapt to your progress, and then you have the financial stakes to keep you committed, just like a trainer would, but except you get it back.
So, GainTains uses AI coaching and financial stakes to drive consistency. How do these pieces come together, and what's the tech behind making workouts feel personal?
Yeah, so the AI part of our app, it's essentially just a trainer that uses the data that you've already, that if you have old data, can give it. Or when we sign on, we ask you a bunch of information about yourself to be able to build you and generate customized plans to your actual needs. So if you have an injury, if you maybe you just had a baby, like you're not going to want to go super hard and heavy. So it can adapt to where your progress is at the time. Especially like for instances when you like just went through like a heavy training cycle, you're not going to want to jump straight into another heavy training cycle. So being able to account for life is a big mission with our AI. And I'm sorry, what was the rest of the question?
So, I have an additional question. How long are you building this startup? How
Yeah.
long?
So the AI and the financial commitment parts we've been building for the last 3 to 4 months. About a year ago, I started designing for the workout tracking and just specifically that experience of it. I was a designer before, so I was using it for my portfolio, and then it was kind of like I don't want to just design this. I want to use this, and so we were like, let's build it.
Yeah. So, and when did you launch your product? Couple of months
uh,
ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah, it was about, I want to say 2 months ago, 3 months ago,
It's-
like May. So yeah, a few months ago.
Maybe you have some personal stories of your users. How do they use your application and what's benefits for them? Maybe some
Yeah.
story.
So taking it through like a user journey, essentially like a user can pick a program and then they can set a stake and start tracking. If they are great with their tracking and they go to the gym, then they get to keep their money. But if they don't, it can skip and go to a buddy, a good cause, or a bad cause. Um, and yeah, the idea, the loss aversion is hopefully supposed to keep you motivated to go to the gym. Um, so I like to essentially just like invite my friends who have told me like, oh, I want to get my summer body, or like, I'm like, okay, now you don't have an excuse because you have to stay just as consistent as me or you pay me.
Yeah. On your website, you mentioned that product users see up to 85% more consistency. Can you share a story that illustrates it?
Yes. So one of my good friends who was an early adopter, she could not lift a barbell at all, like just freight bar or straight barbell. She couldn't lift it, and now like she has a reputation for being, really strong compared to some of the guys in our friend group, and that was just really exciting to see her progress grow. And I honestly think she can lift more than me now, so that's amazing.
Yeah, so let's talk about market. I know that market is huge, projected to hit over $6 billion globally by 2025, according to Statista. How does GainTain stand out against apps like Strava or MyFitnessPal, and why is now the right time to launch your product?
Yeah, so I think that we stand out with competitors like Strava and other fitness apps because they reward essentially competition, not inclusivity. Like most of them for the community is like who ran more than the other, who lifted more than the other. But that's like what you should be rewarded for is doing it at all, not that you did it better than another person. And so I think that really differentiates us from a lot of our competitors. I think also right now with AI, like it's the perfect time to use AI in your products and data. And every time you go to the gym, what are you doing? You're tracking your data. So why not utilize that to get insights that you probably wouldn't even get with a trainer? Different insights, I would say.
And do you see GainTain as just a fitness tool or part of the biggest wellness and longevity movement?
Yeah, long-term goal, I think it would be really awesome to work with employers for employee benefits and kind of host competitions within the company for team building, as well as uh, essentially just looking for a different way to fitness or at fitness than like I know GLP drugs are really popular right now for some people, but I know there's still like a big movement for people to do it like, in a non necessarily medical way. So I think we fit in really well there.
Hmm. So, and I saw that you have a subscription, right? So let's talk about your business model. How did you decide on this model and how does it compare to other fitness apps? All of them uses subscriptions or any difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like we want to keep it as cheap as like cheaper than what you would pay for your protein powder. And we priced it based off of just the costs that go into it for the AI, essentially. There's a really good article by the CEO of Salesbricks, and he talks about how like whenever you're building your pricing and packaging, you should think of it kind of like a Subway restaurant. Like maybe you go in only looking for like a 6-inch sub, but you have all these add-ons that a customer can pay extra for, and that really gets them the customized version of what they want. And it's the same with GainTain. We do have a free version and we have a premium version, but in the premium version you get a lot of those add-ons like with the AI trainer help, but that doesn't mean that you still can't track if you're in the premium version. Like if you already know what you want to do and it's just rinse and repeat, we facilitate that for you.
Hmm. Interesting. And building an AI-powered fitness app takes a mix of tech, design, and fintech expertise. Yeah. So, who is on your team helping bring GainTeam to life? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about your team. Who is, who is it?
Awesome. So yeah, my husband is my CTO, so that makes it really easy to develop. And then we work with a few trainers. So one of the trainers I work with, like before I even start thinking about the process of what I'm going to design or build, I go and have a conversation with her to know like how would a trainer approach this problem and how can I replicate that in our app as much as possible. So that's my first initial contact whenever I'm trying to solve something is the trainer. And then I try to reach out to the community of people who are really dedicated to fitness and have a fitness following. One of our great friends, Matt Manicky, he's a power lifter. And so we get a lot of insights from that type of community. So I really lean on my network to make sure that I'm designing for everybody, really, but
Yeah,
for the fitness space.
yeah. So, full time on your startup, work only you, like a CEO, and your husband, like a CTO.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you work
But I
24
do,
hours a day?
yeah, but I actually do some of the coding now. So thank you,
Mhm.
Cursor.
Yeah. So let's talk about roadmap and next steps. Where is Game Team today? What have you built so far, and what's your main focus right now?
Yeah, so I would say we're still building and finding our product market fit. Our next goal in the next coming months is by January, we really want to try to go to market and capitalize on the new year, new me, since everybody's really going to be into fitness. So from now in between then, we're really trying to scale our users, expand our AI coaching, integrate with the Apple Watch and other wearables, and do an individualized stake because right now it's just a buddy, and we have the designs and stuff ready for the individualized stake. We just need to implement that, and yeah, hopefully to get some fundraising in between there, but that's not like it would obviously be nice to get money, but my main priority is making people happy with the product we have.
And do you work on now, right now, you're working on B2C market. And what I see some potential on B2B market with cooperation with some fitness center. Do you think about this collaboration?
Oh yes, we're already in talks with it. So one of somebody in their network just opened a gym, and so we're going to start talking about what a partnership would look like. Maybe building for them something customized if they don't want to pay for what's already out there for their gym. So we're hoping that that is one way to go to market. The other way I think would be is to contact or to get into companies like Rally, where they are a market to provide benefits to employers, but they also find the benefits. So it would be a great way to get into the insurance employee wellness space, like we had talked about.
Mhm. What's been the toughest challenge in building GainTain so far, and how did you overcome it?
I would say like trying not to let dogma affect you too much. Like there are so many opinions when you're trying to be a founder, and it's easy to be like, oh, this person has this credential, so I should listen to them. But I think at the end of the day, like you need to be able to cut through the noise and listen to the signal when it comes to advice. And then I would say the other thing is, because we're a small team and it is my husband and I, like scheduling time where we're humans is really important.
So, and hopefully you have some day off
Yeah,
when you don't talk.
I say
Yeah,
that it'll
so
be like Saturday or Sunday. I'm like, okay, we're not gonna work, and then we'll be sitting at our desk, and I'm like, did you do that thing? And he's like, okay, so I guess we're working.
yeah. And you work remotely, right? From your home.
Yeah. Well, we're in San Francisco, so we're thankfully I'm in the hub of getting to network and learn from great people here.
Yeah. So, and my traditional final question, what's one piece of advice or advices you would give to someone starting their first startup today and who is watching right now our podcast? Your advice.
Um, I would say, I mean, this doesn't apply to just GainTain, but it definitely fits for everything. Is my opinion is consistency. Consistency doesn't have to be a struggle. I think just making sure that even if you didn't give 100% like you did the day before, even if you still give 10 or 20%, like just to keep consistent and going, and overall, over time that builds, and that's what really matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Adalida, this was incredible podcast. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, I wish you all the best. And definitely I will use I will use the application because I'm fan of fitness and sports. So all the best you and your CTO.
We'll see who's more consistent.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.